100 metres.
Yes, it was great stuff, Larry, but just waiting now on the riders to come up into line before we get a start. Okay, and away they go, and the men from the back have really got it all to do, Larry, as we watch them go through the pit corner on the first occasion.
Yes, that's right, Dennis. That first corner is the one to watch out for, because the riders being closer to the corner off the front are not going as quick as the back markers, and they really get flying by the time they get down the end of that straight.
Well, we can see now, Larry, the field certainly bunching up down past the Sutter stand as they commence lap number 2.
Yeah, this is really exciting stuff here, isn't it?
Well, it's good stuff. We'll see Phil McCurtain there coming through, making forward progress down the back straightaway, and going through on the inside there is Greg Griffiths also advancing one position.
Yes, well, looks like we've had a motorbike.
Someone struck problems there, Larry.
Problems there. They've slowed up. I think it's Dale Mitchell and Rebecca Gardner.
Okay, coming down past the coronation stand once again, and that looks like Keith Braddock there on the inside, and Gary Treloar in the number 3 body colour.
Yeah, Gary Treloar doing one of his famous outside passes. He was a wizard at this at the Sydney Showground.
Certainly was. As the checkered flag comes out, and first to greet the checkered flag was Keith Braddock from Gary Treloar. Looks like Phil McCurtain was next across the finish line. There's Keith Braddock on the screen at the present time. Keith Braddock, a good performance in that one, and his passenger on this occasion is Zach Hogan. And Zach Hogan, 27 years of age, and he's been competing in Speedway for 6 years, and also a former short circuit solo rider, of course, Zach, and very experienced in the art of sidecar swing. And it is an art form, I guess, Larry, being a sidecar passenger.
Yes, it's not just a matter of getting over the side and hanging off it. You've got to know where to put your weight, move your weight forward and move it back depending on how much drive you want to get off the back wheel. Zach Hogan is a zany character. He's one of the nice guys, and Zach won the Passenger of the Year award last year.
And speaking of passengers, of course, Greg Griffiths started his career as a passenger and won a title with Doug Robson, and we caught up with Greg earlier tonight. One of the highlights of the 1986 Royal Easter Show was the return of Speedway sidecars to the main arena, and one of the riders that was involved in that exhibition of races was Greg Griffiths. Greg, firstly, what was it like to get back onto the Sydney Showground racetrack?
Just beautiful, just beautiful. It was nice to have been, I don't know, just...
Well, Greg, of course, you're one of the experienced riders on the Sydney sidecar scene, and in fact won a national title as a sidecar passenger with Doug Robson in 1975, and one of the big nights of sidecar racing in Sydney.
Yes, but actually when I rode around here last night, I think I enjoyed it more than the night I won the title with Robbo.
Tell me, Greg, do you see this as the opening of the door, a long-range plan perhaps to get Speedway back on the Sydney Showground?
Well, I certainly hope so. We've got nowhere to ride in Sydney at present. We've got Newcastle as our home track, and that's just every now and then. We don't get Liverpool. I certainly hope so. Like all the other sports have got somewhere to go and play their games, and football and whatever, but there's just nowhere to go and ride Speedway.
Okay, Greg, well, we certainly wish you a lot of success, not only in the racing here at the Sydney Showground again, but in your future sidecar commitments.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Greg Griffiths as we pan back from the member stand on the Bullpens corner at the Sydney Royal. And the exhibition of races, Larry, 3 nights, and of course the 4 events, four performances during the Royal Easter Show.
Yes, the opening night, the Friday night, which was last night, tonight, Saturday night. Then we don't make an appearance here until the following Thursday, and then Easter Sunday is the last performance.
Right. So moving on now to all these highlights of the appearances by the sidecars at the Royal Easter Show through the sponsorship, as we said earlier, of Castrol Australia, and some good infield shots now, Larry, as they move through the pit corner and onto the back straightaway. Looks like Keith Braddock and Phil McCurtain once again taking up the front running.
Yes, the cameraman's done a very good job on this tape. I didn't know where he was while I was there, but he got some very good shots.
Yeah, some good highlights coming your way, presented by Carrick Video, of course, of the Sidecar exhibition at the Royal Easter Show. What far-reaching effects, Larry, do you feel this will have, this performance at the Royal Easter Show?
Well, we're hoping that we can generate some public interest into speedway racing, sidecar racing, and well, if we show the public what they're missing out on, maybe they may talk to the sports people or whoever's involved and say that they want us back.
Well, of course. There you see a congestion there through the bullpens corner, pretty infamous corner for Speedway at the showground, the bullpens, as the riders now going down through the pit corner there, and the checkered flag coming out, of course. But, well, let's just hope, of course, along the way that this contributes to something toward an ultimate return of Speedway on a regular basis.
Interesting thing to note, Dennis, is that all the riders that are in this exhibition are all former showground experienced riders. And the passengers, some of them never been around here before, but it's the rider that's doing most of the job. And I really wanted to have experienced riders for this exhibition that know their way around the showground track.
Well, Larry, of course, that's important. We mentioned some of the passengers. There you see, of course, Rebecca Gardner on the back there, and some of the other passengers involved too, of course, in this exhibition. Larry?
Yeah, on the back of rider number 6, out near the fence there at the moment, is Mick Saunders. Mick's been in the game for quite a long while. In the green leathers there is Ozzie Clark with his passenger Richard Emmett.
Right, okay, another race underway, as you can see, down past the coronation stand once again, and lining up to that bottom corner. Yes, we've mentioned the passengers, and certainly getting right down over the machines there, coming onto the straightaway, low camera angle that time. We pick up the action going into the pit corner once again, Larry.
Yes, very interesting to note here, Dennis, the bike coming second there, just making the inside move on Ozzie Clark. In the white leathers there, Lee Feldson. Lee's passenger tonight is current Australian champion as a passenger, Dennis Potts.
Yes, that's an interesting information, Larry, because Dennis, with Phil McCurtain, won the current and the 2 times Australian champion, Phil McCurtain and Dennis Potts, and Lee Feldson, of course, experienced rider over many years here at the Sydney Showground.
Yeah, well, 22 years ago, Lee first rode here on the showground, and he gave the game away for quite a few years, went over to England and America, business ventures, and he's back racing after a 17-year layoff.
What sort of to have a layoff that long, Larry, and come back into sidecar racing, I think he's acquitted himself pretty well, considering the length of the layoff that he has had.
Yeah, well, I suppose he knew the characteristics of the motorbike, but to make things a little bit more difficult, he bought one of the current modern-day lowliners, and he is just mastering that as he goes along. He's more used to the old conventional upright motorcycle.
Well, that's right. When Lee Feldson was a racer some years ago, the whole scene was a lot different to what it is today, with HRD Vincent's and totally different concept of outfits that are being used throughout Australia nowadays.
Yeah, there's majority of the motorcycles these days are all Japanese, Kawasaki, Suzuki's, Honda and Yamaha, with the odd British-built Goddens, but mainly Japanese because parts are easier to acquire, and they just seem to be more reliable.
Well, of course, as I said, the HRD Vincent was the tried, proven and always the accepted, and it really didn't alter until 1972 when Jeff Brocott won an Australian title on this arena, and virtually after that it was a mass exodus as far as the HRD Vincent was concerned, and into the Japanese power plants, and now every sidecar in Australia is virtually powered by a Japanese machine.
One rider having trouble there, Lee Feldson. Keith Braddock had to do a great job there to stop from running up the back of his motorbike.
Certainly did, Larry, as we caught that on screen as they run down to the bottom corner past the coronation stand on the back straightaway. But watching the action now as Keith Braddock comes through there in the body colour number 2, as we've been mentioning.
Conditions starting to get a bit dusty there, Dennis, now that because of the amount of races and the time that it's taken. They haven't been able to put any water on the track during races, so getting a little bit dusty now.
Certainly is. There's Phil McCurtain there going through the bullpens corner once again. Looks like Greg Griffiths also there. And coming on to the straightaway once again to greet the checkered flag. Larry, you've got to duck off now down to the main arena. We'd like to certainly thank you for coming up to the broadcast box and assisting us with the commentary for this sidecar series. And we'd like to, firstly congratulate you on the performance and wish you a lot of success in the future.
Yes, thank you, Dennis. I hope I didn't bore too many people with my slow conversation, but I'm not used to these headphones.
Okay, that was Larry Marr, and he's one of the men that very much responsible for these sidecar exhibitions brought to you through Castrol, Australia. As the riders now go back to the pit area after their final performance, of course these highlights of the 1986 series at the Royal Easter Show through Carrick Video, and we're waiting now on the final appearance by the riders on the back of the ute after their events, and the people here at the Royal Easter Show to show their appreciation now on the performances that the riders and passengers have provided. As you see the ute outside the pit gates now just moving away, and of course the spotlight adds to the atmosphere and really the excitement, I guess, because it's been some great competition here, and great for the many people that have come to the Royal Easter Show and seen the sidecars go around. Okay, so there's the scene now as the riders and passengers, the people right down on the fence area there, as you can see, and they're certainly showing their appreciation too for the tremendous performance put up by the riders from the New South Wales Speedway Sidecar Riders Association. And Larry there too, Larry Marr, who assisted us here in the commentary box for these events. Just going down past the coronation stand. And indeed a great performance by, and a job well done too by all concerned in getting this exhibition on the road. From the RAS to Larry Marr to the New South Wales Speedway Sidecar Riders Association, and not forgetting Castrol Oils Australia, who generously came in with sponsorship for these, and of course also involved was Carrick Video presenting this to the race fans. And just watching now the ute coming along the toward the main straightaway. And the RAS, of course, the Royal Agricultural Society, as we've said during the commentary, most gracious in their assistance to put this on, and people working behind the scenes for many months leading up to this, and it's all come together, and you've seen the end result, and I think everybody's been delighted with the performances. And I guess we really must leave you with this one question. I guess would you really like to see Speedway back here on the grand old arena of Speedway, the Sydney Showground? And I know there are many people that would certainly love to see Speedway under lights on the 1/3 of a mile egg-shaped Sydney Showground Speedway. Riders now just moving back, walking back to the pit area after a job certainly very, very well done. Congratulations to the riders and passengers. And reminding you once again that this was brought to you by Carrick Video. So until we present Speedway Racing once again, my name's Dennis Julian, and thank you for being with us.